This is Trend Following Radio, where great thinking comes alive. Nobel Prize winners, legendary traders, best-selling authors, and the pros that know what drive us irrational human beings. I am your host, Michael Covel. Not filtered, raw, honest. That's my passion. There's this guy on Twitter, very well-known angel investor, Naval, at Naval. I generally will see his stuff when I peruse Twitter, and I like the way he thinks. And he had this tweet storm, how to get rich without getting lucky. Some real nice wisdom in what he put together. I will run through some of them with a little bit of my commentary. His first one, seek wealth, not money or status. Wealth is having assets that you earn while you sleep. Money is how we transfer time and wealth. Status is your place in the social hierarchy. Boy, status is an interesting one. Have you ever watched somebody who has FU money and they're faced with a problem or a conundrum or an opportunity and they can't make a good decision because their entire life has been set up around how they sit in the social hierarchy? Now, I can't relate to this. I mean, I guess I'm in some kind of social hierarchy, but this podcast has taught me one thing. I can talk to anyone. They might not like me. They might think I'm full of it. They might not think I'm qualified enough for something, but I know I can relate. I can connect with just about anybody. I can find common ground. And at that moment in time in your life that you know you can find common ground, well, when you have common ground, what's hierarchy? I don't talk to a Nobel Prize winner on this podcast and walk away thinking, oh, he's so much better than me. Nor do I walk away thinking, well, if I just got a little more lucky, I'd have a Nobel Prize too. No, I don't think any of that. I just say to myself, two people interchanging, conversing, and they're equal. They're both human. But again, how many people, how many of you can make decisions without worrying about how you sit in the damn social hierarchy that you've developed for yourself? My guess, not many. Fix that. That's Naval's point. Now, some of these I'm paraphrasing from Naval. If I get some wrong, you'll have to go read his exact tweet storm. But I'm going to be in the 99% confidence level of getting it right. He goes on to say, if you secretly despise wealth, it will elude you. What, pray tell, is the despise of wealth? Somebody that thinks you can get it from the government. Somebody that thinks it grows on trees. Somebody that thinks it can be transferred without effort. Those are people that hate money. They hate success. They just hate it. Why? We all know why. Nobody will say it, but we all know why, because they're jealous. They're jealous, envious people. They've failed at their own version of trying to generate wealth. And so, let's go to the government and even the score. Naval goes on to add, you're not going to get rich renting out your time. You must own equity, a piece of a business to gain your financial freedom. Said another way, make money while you sleep. If it's all about renting your time, unless you are one of these high-paid Washington, D.C. attorneys who are paid serious hourly bucks to clean up the mess in D.C., and even then, it's probably not enough. I mean, not enough in the sense that you're still stuck there at the desk renting your time for whatever payment they give you. You don't want that. I mean, you can take it for a while. We all have. But it's not the objective. Don't rent your time. Another great one. The internet has massively broadened the possible space of careers. Most people haven't figured this out yet. 100% they've not figured it out yet. Look at the university system. Training people to get jobs. Jobs, jobs, jobs. It's like a 4-letter word. It is a 4-letter word, but it's like a 4-letter word like fuck or shit. You should not be spending every waking hour from your early teens through college with the sole goal of getting a job. Because if that is your sole goal, you better think ahead to what your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s and 70s look like if you depend on the man for your nourishment. Another great one. Learn to sell, learn to build. If you can do both, you will be unstoppable. What does he mean by build? Anything. Create something. Write something. Produce something. It could be code. It could be music. It doesn't matter. And if you can then build it and sell it without having to pay somebody a whole bunch of money to do the selling, you are gold. You are golden. You have golden underwear on at that moment in time. You are guaranteed a little bit easier life. Here's another great one. Arm yourself with specific knowledge, accountability, and leverage. Let's stay at leverage for a moment. So many people don't want to touch leverage. I see the responses that people write into me, the feedback they give. Can I trade long only, no leverage? Well, you can, but why would you? Leverage is just a tool. If you know how to use it, if you know how to deploy it and be on the right side of it, that asymmetric utilization, why would you not want that? That's like when all the other kids are riding bikes and you're crawling. What's the point? You just have to know how to ride the damn bike. This one's great. A couple thoughts on what he calls specific knowledge. Specific knowledge is knowledge that you cannot be trained for. If society can train you, it can train someone else and replace your ass. I'm adding in ass. He was not using such awful language. He goes on to add, specific knowledge is found by pursuing your curiosity and passion rather than what is hot right now. Let me take a little sidebar to what is hot right now. Bitcoin, an up and down asset. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Have you noticed that every time Bitcoin gets running and starts to make serious new highs, have you noticed the people that start to say they knew? They knew it was going to happen? You didn't know shit was going to happen. You absolutely did not know shit. After Bitcoin went from 19,000 to 3,000 and was going to turn around after a year's delay and go back up to 13,000, give me a break. The only way you should think about something like Bitcoin is if you have some specific knowledge, for example, how to trade momentum, then you're fine. But don't tie your damn ego to it. It's just another asset. It's up and down, up and down. And somebody out there will flip a coin and make some kind of prediction where they turn out to be right. But don't forget, they were just flipping the damn coin. And when you flip the damn coin, somebody has to be right. Getting back to his point about specific knowledge, I love this one. Building specific knowledge will feel like play to you, but will look like work to others. If you get that specific knowledge and they can't take it away from you and you can't be replicated, that is so much damn fun. Now, we're talking about getting rich here, making money without getting lucky. But it's also about fun. Because if you're sitting there and you're slaving away at something and you don't enjoy it, it's not fun. What the hell? You're going to die. They've not figured out that life extension stuff yet. Not yet. Hope it's coming, but they haven't figured it out yet. So you better find a way for it to be fun, whatever you're doing every damn day to make your dollar. Hopefully a lot more than one damn dollar. But you got to enjoy it. And when you enjoy it and you're really good at it, the outsiders, they're going to look at it and they're going to say, oh my gosh, look how much work he or she is doing. It's so much work. But it's not work. It's just fun. It's just life. Yeah, you really want to shoot for that. That's the cool place to be. That's the headspace you want to be in. Now, I love this from Mr. Naval. Actually, it's not Mr. Naval. That's his first name. But I love this from Mr. Naval. Labor means people working for you. It's the oldest and most fought over form of leverage. Labor leverage will impress your parents, but don't waste your life chasing it. Meaning, who cares how many employees you have? Your objective should not be collecting people underneath you that you need to pay. There's a better form of leverage. The media or code that has a replication cost of 0? Yeah, that's a much nicer form of leverage. Now, of course, if you are Microsoft and you need 1 million people to package up the original operating systems and the original Microsoft Word boxes back in the day to ship to everybody on the planet, well, sure, you hire a bunch of monkeys to do it. Excuse me, I should not call people that were packaging up all the Microsoft Office boxes, etc., as monkeys. But come on, let's be honest. Unless you're Bill Gates, unless you're some of the key engineers, most everybody at these tech companies is customer service, replaceable. And that's fine. I mean, if I was in the same situation, even though Naval is making the point about not trying to collect all the employees, there are points in time in life where things unfold, and collecting all those employees by Bill Gates, that worked and served him well. But Naval's point is strong. It's 2019. Robotics are here. Automation is here. Collecting people is not the name of the game. Another great one, code and media are permissionless leverage. They're the leverage behind the newly rich. You can create software and media that works for you while you sleep. I've already added in the while you sleep component to my feedback earlier here, but his point is so spot on. While you sleep. I had this conversation with someone the other day, relatively new to the entrepreneurial style of thinking, leaving their job, and to watch people really try to wrap their arms around it when they've been taking a check from the man for years. Their head starts to spin. You can watch their eyes start to spin. Because when you share with them how you've approached it for years, and I'm talking about myself, and they start to think, hold on, that's how you've done it? That's what you've done? I love making that impression on people. I'm not trying to say I'm all that. I just like sharing with people so they know that there's a different opportunity. There's another way to approach it. There's another way to go. That's fun too. Sharing with everyone like Naval is sharing here. That makes you feel good to pass along a good insight. Maybe somebody will take my insight or they'll take Naval's insight and they'll go on to build this massive opportunity and get super rich and do it the right way. And I'll sit back and I'll just give them a big round of applause and say, nice job, awesome. This one's great. Absolutely fabulous. You should be too busy to do coffee while still keeping an uncluttered calendar. That's a very introverted thought. Too busy to do coffee. Well, most coffees are a waste of time. I mean, it's fun. You could have fun with your friends. You can chill out. But you can't work on the opportunity while you're chilling out. And that's the second part of his comment, the uncluttered calendar. You want the uncluttered calendar so you can focus. You're not going to create that media or create that software, write that code, talking with your friends. writing code, writing a book, writing an article, writing a blog, music, whatever, I don't care. The act of creating takes intense focus. Even right now, I'm looking straight ahead like a lunatic, intently focused on passing along the thought. And when I'm finished this little conversation today, I will be tired because I want it to be my best creation for the day, my best culmination of all of my energies and thoughts for the right now, condensed to right now. And how the hell can I do that sitting in a coffee shop? How the hell can I do that surrounded by people? You can't, I can't, nobody can. Here's another great one. Become the best in the world at what you do. Keep redefining what you do until this is true. You see, when you start out, you're probably not really thinking about being the best. I still remember somebody, a very famous banker, telling me the objective is not to be the best. The objective is to win. I'm not going to pick on Naval too much for using the word best. But when he says be the best, you want to win. You want to win. Best is subjective. There's got to be some kind of a milepost, a marker that you can see. Because if you're a great author, for example, and no one reads your shit, who's going to tell you that you are the best? Yourself? Again, I'm not picking on Naval here. I'm just pointing out we always have to think about the words that we use, how we want to move forward with our thinking. But his point about redefining, because when you start out, you really don't know. You don't know how to be the best. You don't know how to win. But as you start to get some of those wins, those notches on your belt, you start to redefine. Oh, I got a win here, and this opened up my thinking to this. And that's where I really want to go. I really want to go down that path. It's slightly different from where I started winning, but it's more interesting. So the redefining only comes from the practical experience. If you're not in the game, if you're not doing something to get bloody, to get sweaty, to get a little dirty, to get some scars on your back, you're not going to get any feedback that allows you to redefine your way along the way. Which gets to one of my points that I would like to add, which is the start. Stealing from Guy Kawasaki, I think it was Guy Kawasaki, the art of the start. You got to get up. You got to get in the game. Because the number one thing when Naval says how to get rich without getting lucky, you got to start. You got to let go. And that's the hardest part. Because unless you were lucky enough to start off with a family that gave you the entrepreneurial insight, the entrepreneurial path, that it was safe to go down, most people spend a good portion of their life learning that you've been going the wrong way and then changing course. And that's hard as hell for a lot of people. Because the more you bet on the one direction that society has blessed and you go down that path, when you're shown evidence that there is a better way, another option, another direction, what do you think? Most people will hear that and go, oh my gosh, I must change today. Hell no. They double down. Nobody wants to hear that they've made a big mistake. Actually, that's not true. The most successful people want to make mistakes because the most successful people know if they are not making mistakes, they're not doing anything. The unsuccessful think that you try once, and if it doesn't work, you're a failure, so you stop and go back and get a job for the man. The successful people know fail, 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 success, fail, 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 success. And that distribution of fail, 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 success, that outlier distribution, the successful people know that is the only damn path. So I implore you to take a quick read of all of Naval's points, then take into account what I've added as well, which is you better start, because if you don't start, you can't apply any of Naval's wisdom. And you better get used to failure. You better get used to having a personal stop loss on you. Learn how to be a trend-following trader of you. There you go. There's a little bit of a mind fuck for the day. Can you be a trend-following trader of yourself? If you could be a trend-following trader of yourself, if you can have that Bayesian babies mindset, you might have to go listen to my podcast with Allison Gopnik to get that reference. But if you can have the Bayesian babies mindset right there connected to Larry Hite, then you got a chance. Then you got a real damn good chance of having some wealth while you sleep.
I see a time when those awake will understand how to make money in up, down, and surprise markets. Whether new trader or experienced, college student or financial advisor, protecting against a crash or just trying to make a lot of money, trend following offers everyone an answer in uncertain times. To get started immediately, send me an email, michael@covel.com. I will send you the right trend following steps to take along with my free video. But if you want to buy and hold, trust the government and trust Wall Street, this is absolutely not for you.